Hello, everybody. Thought I'd give you a little overview of idea for two types of new game mode or game mechanics. Anyway, let me show you the first one. If you look at the map, you can see there are no objectives on there at all on Abbasid. So if you go over here, we have two targets and three MCOMs. If I go up to the MCOMs, you'll see there's nothing coming up to allow me to interact and set the timer. Yeah, none of them at all. Nothing, if I press the X button, nothing happens. And I've put a facility here to interact with these. So if I interact with the first one, it turns around. You will now notice that this MCOM has become active. There it is, it's on the map, D. So I can arm that one. This one is not active. This one is not active. If I go back and switch this around, this one's turned off again. All three are off. If I turn this one around, nothing. This one is active again. E. There it is on the map, E. And this one is off, nothing. If I turn both of them to face me, this one is off, this one is off, and this one is on. That's F. Turn them both back around again, and they're all turned off. Nothing on the map. So what I was thinking is putting this kind of selection device on a map. So you have to fight over the ability to interact with these. When you have beaten the enemy team and you can interact with these, you can then turn on the MCOMs, which will be dotted around the map. So you then have to fight for the MCOMs. So there's two stages of fighting. First for the indicators, second for the MCOMs. There we go. So even if I turn these around, that one is still live. So once you've activated it, you can then fight over it. Of course, if the enemy come along and defuse it, yeah, if I turn these back around, it appears and disappears off the map. And if the enemy defuse it, then it goes back to being, wow, a viable MCOM on the map. Okay, so that's one idea. So these interact points would be perhaps in a central location that both teams fight over and use to activate or make available the MCOMs. You then run to the MCOM and fight over the MCOM. So that's the first idea. Second idea, bear with me while I run around the map to where I put this other piece. So that first example is one idea of a game mode. Let me know if you'd like to see something built around that. Nifty little use of the logic in the rules editor in Portal. And here we come to the second example. I can run around the map, and as you see, there's nothing indicated on the map. Aha! Here's an MCOM, which I can't interact with. So what you can do is set up the map so that you can hunt around and find the MCOMs Then once you've found the MCOMs, you need to look for clues in the surrounding environment where the switch is to make them active. So this requires you to know your maps. Those of you that are familiar with Abbasid will realise, this cable is not normally on the floor. That's a bit different. What else is different? Oh, there's an MCOM. Sorry. There's an air conditioning unit up here. So now the game is, if you run around the map and try and find the MCOMs, once you've found them, you need to find the switch that's located nearby that allows them to be turned on. So if I interact with that, this MCOM has now become active. I can now arm the MCOM, and we can fight over the MCOM. So what do you think? That's the second mode. How's that for a variation on a theme in Battlefield? Let's watch it blow up. Probably take out the tree. Wow. Wow, what a mess. So there we go, that's the second game mode. So let me know if you'd like to see a game made with the first example. That's turning the switches to turn the MCOMs on and off. Or the second mode, which is run around the map and try and find the MCOMs and then look for the switch that's hidden nearby. And those can be fiendishly difficult to find, perhaps. Let me know in the comments, and I'll build it. Cheers all.